Good morning, students. In this ray optics, we were discussing the optical instruments. In that microscope, we had discussed in the previous class. Astronomy telescope also we had discussed in the previous class. In the astronomy telescope, the final image is inverted and virtual. If you are seeing directly with your eye, means that is supposed to be inverted. Through the lens, if you are seeing directly, means that is supposed to be virtual ones. And magnification is minus indicates inverted image. And normal adjustment, if they don't mention the numericals, normal adjustment word not given, and what they didn't mention where the image formed, you go for normal adjustment only. These are default conditions. Next, magnification formula is minus FO by FE. Object lens focal length by eye lens focal length. Therefore, FO should be always much greater than that of FE required for the more magnification. Eye lens size is related to this size, aperture size, diameter is related to the aperture of the pupil of the eye. So this is very small, but that's not important for the magnification. Magnification equal to F by FE. Less FE, more FO is more magnification. In the normal adjustment, what is the length of the telescope? That is the distance from the object lens to eye lens. L is equals to FO plus FE. FO, light rays coming from the sun and stars. They are focused at the focus, principal focus, because they are nearly parallel rays at the focus. So VO equal to FO. If this is at the eye lens focal length, then you will get the parallel rays again. Final image is formed at infinity, that is for the normal adjustment. Final image to infinity. So next is if the final image at near point. Mostly you will be asked only these conditions, most of the problems, but rarely, only for the neat ones they asked, or even JE also they may ask. Final image at near point D is equals to minus FO by FE plus 1 plus FE by D. This is also inverted images, minus indicates. But length of the telescope becomes equal to FO plus UE. What is the value of UE is, we can calculate the relationship as from the relationship of the focal length 1 by F, depending on the distance D. Final image at D formed means 1 by F is equals to 1 by lens, it is 1 by V minus 1 by U. This is for the eye lens, E. For the object lens, no, UE is infinity, so V equal to F. Next is terrestrial telescope. For the astronomy telescope, the final image is inverted, because you are seeing the distant objects like planets, etc. They are already spherical. Seeing the inverted image makes no difference for us. But if you are seeing the trees and long distance buildings, etc., in that case the inverted images will not be comfortable to us. Then we go for terrestrial telescope. In the terrestrial telescope, the focal length is FO by FE. This is for normal adjustment only I am giving. Formula same as the astronomy telescope. Only thing is one additional lens is kept here in between the object lens and eye lens. The lens near the eye is eye lens, lens near the object towards the object is object lens. And here the focal length of this erecting lens, it's called as erecting lens. It erects the inverted image. If image is inverted, it becomes erected. If it is erected, it becomes inverted. So image formed by the object lens is inverted image. You want to make it erected. For that purpose, we take one more lens called as erected lens. And the image formed by the first lens should be focused at the 2 times focal length of this erecting lens. Even object is at 2f, image is also at 2f. Its focal length is f1, so 2f1, image is also at 2f1, and same size. There is no change in the magnification. Image size is equal to object size here, and the magnification is minus 1. It becomes inverted image. Already inverted means erected comes. So total length being from here to extra additional length comes is 2f1 plus 2f1 is 4f1 is added. Final image at infinity, normal adjustment you have taken means total length becomes equal to FO plus FE plus this additional distance, that is 4f1. Length only changes, magnification formula same as before. Adjustment is little difficult in the practical cases. To avoid this, generally prism telescopes are used. Prisms are used to divert the light rays, and inverted image can be made as inverted again. So binoculars also, you have the prisms are used inside to decrease the length and also see the erected images. Next is, but prism binocular terms are not there in your syllabus, so we are leaving it. Galileo telescope, normal adjustment, magnification is FO by F. In the Galileo used this used for the opera, they are called as opera glasses. They are used for the case of the binoculars. They are used for the 2 eyes. Even single also you can use. In the fairs, in the village fairs, festival fairs, you will find the small children binoculars. Binoculars, ocular means eyes, bi means 2 eyes if you are seeing called as binoculars. If it's single tube you are using the lenses, no, telescope generally 2 lenses only there, and in the single tube means that is the monocular, means single eye you have to see, and binocular means with 2 eyes you have to see. What is the advantage of the binoculars is 2 eyes if you are seeing, you will have the 3-dimensional view. only single eye means you will not have the three-dimensional view. Three-dimensional means depth you cannot estimate. Next is in the Galileo telescope he used one convex lens and concave lens. To see the opera dances and programs in the Italy, he made this modified, already telescope was there, he modified that to get the better images and use the convex and concave lens. Their advantage is that you will get the clear image and also errated image, directly errated image, and length is also less. The focal length of the convex lens is positive, for the concave lens is negative. The length becomes equal to FO minus FE for the normal adjustment. The image formed by the first object should be at the focus of the second object. Here also focus at the focus of the second object, but this is on the left side. If it is on the right side, it is for the concave lens minus focal length. So light rays becomes equal to, they don't form here, but they appear to be forming means that is a virtual object. This image formed is actually a virtual object for the second lens, and that is at the focus means light rays becomes parallel. That is for the normal adjustment only required. Magnification is FO by FE, but plus means errated image, and length becomes equal to, this length of the telescope is, this is FO up to here, and this one you have to subtract, that is the focal length of the eye lens. The length separation becomes equal to L equal to FO minus FE. Okay, these are the refracting telescopes where light has to pass through the lenses by the refraction cases. And angles, they will mention angle subtended cases. This angle subtended by the sun is half degree. More distance means angle is less near the lens. I mentioned here only one rays, but from here bottom also you take the right rays coming from here like this. Sorry, okay, leave the things symmetrically from bottom also, top also comes like this. But here I have taken from the top means forming here an image. If you are taking the light rays like this, no, the image is formed here again like this. And for the moon, the image the angle subtended is, moon is very closer, therefore visual angle here is less, more angle you will get when the moon is closer. Near objects have the more angles, that is nearly 1 to 2 degrees for the moon. Another thing is the angle made at the object lens is nearly equal to angle made at the eye also, because the distance of the objects for the telescope is very far, too far, means moon etc. very large compared to length of the telescope whatever you are making it. So angle made here and angle made near the eye is also equal only. So they may mention near the object lens, that is equal to visual angle near the eye. Next is in the case of the refracting telescope, there are some problems are there that images can be colored, can be may not be clear, that is called as aberrations. To eliminate the aberrations, we will take the help of the combination of more than two lenses near the eye lens, that is called as eyepiece. Eye lens means single lens, eyepiece. Eyepiece means more than one lens, one called as field lens, and one more lens is used here, that is called as eye lens, and this is called as field lens. Combination is called as the eyepiece. In the telescopes, microscope, what you see in the laboratories are nothing but eyepieces. In the physics lab, you will see Ramsden's eyepiece, and in the case of the biology lab, you will see Huygens eyepiece. Huygens eyepiece, the difference I will discuss after this. That is not in your syllabus, but we have to discuss. Next, in the Galileo telescope, already convex and concave lenses are used. This is free of aberrations. That means the distortion is very less for the Galileo telescope compared to other telescopes. Next, in the case of the reflecting telescope, reflecting principle is used, means mirrors are used here. The concave mirror is used for the in place of the lens. The radius of curvature is R, focal length of the concave mirror is FO, and the size is aperture. More aperture, more light can be collected, more clear image you can see. But here, more aperture if you take lens, more light is collected is true, resolution increases both the cases. But here, there is a problem of the coloring of the images and marginal rays per axial is not made at the same point, that is called as a spherical aberration. Two type of distortion is possible in the case of lenses, general case. Many are there, but mainly two. But here, that aberration of the coloring is not there. Why coloring comes is white light passed through the lenses will be refracted. Depending on the refractive indices of the materials, refractive index is different at different wavelengths. They are not focused in the same place. That is, colors are colored images we will see. But here, there is no refraction only. Refraction is not there means there is no question of chromatic aberration, means coloring is not there. But spherical aberration means not clear images possible for the spherical mirrors. That I will discuss after these conditions. Next is one concave mirror is used and convex mirror is used. Light rays are supposed to focus here for the concave, but they are obstructed here because we cannot see, put your eye here, and one concave mirror is kept here, a small piece, it's actually not big ones, small piece, and light rays falling on it will be collected at the eyepiece or eye lens we can say. And this focal length of eye lens is Fe, focal length of the concave mirror is Fo, radius of curvature is Ro. Radius of curvature is 2 times Fo, so you can calculate Fo is equals to Ro by 2. And magnification formula same as that of the, for normal adjustment, same as that of the telescope what you have taken, that is Fo by Fe only. In all the telescope for normal adjustment Fo by Fe. Only for the Galileo telescope you will get the plus, and for other cases you will get the minus, means inverted images you will see. But this is called as a Cassegrain telescope, named after the scientist who made it. Newton also made the telescope, of course. Here in the concave mirror there is small hole will be there, through that light will be passed through, very small hole. And this, instead of this concave mirror, generally parabolic mirrors are preferred. Parabolic mirrors, there is no aberrations, there is no distortions, that will get the more clear images. Next point is aberrations. If the image is not clear, it is called as aberrations. There are many types of aberrations. One is one is spherical aberration and chromatic aberrations. And called as a coma, and other aberrations not important, only these three we are going to discuss. In this also you have in your syllabus only two are there, spherical aberration and chromatic aberration. What are the spherical aberrations is, it is produced because of paraxial rays and marginal rays. Paraxial comma marginal rays are not focused at the same point. At same point. So that spherical aberration is arises because of the paraxial and marginal rays are not focused at the same point. So what happens then? Image is blurred. Image is blurred. And chromatic aberrations. In the chromatic, chroma means color. Chroma means color. You will see the image colored images we can see. All colors are not focused at the same point. All colors of incident white light are not focused at same point. So what happens? The image is colored. Different colors you will see the image. Coma is actually name taken from comet. In this case what happens is, object is not on the principal axis. It happens when object is not on principal axis. Multiple images with a different size are formed. Of different size combine and look like comet. The term is called as a coma. First one we will see what is that. Spherical aberrations. If you see the lenses, it is there for both the lenses comma mirrors. It is for both cases. So lens, if you see, we have the two type of the light rays, marginal rays and paraxial rays. Focal length is defined only for paraxial rays. What are the paraxial rays? Paraxial rays are the light rays which are very close to the principal axis. Light rays which are close to the principal axis are focused, they see small angle of incidence and small angle of refraction. The result is they are focused far away from the optic center. But light rays which are far away from the principal axis, this is the principal axis. These are the paraxial rays. And end point at the border, they are called as a marginal rays. The light rays coming at the margin are having the large angle of incidence and they are focused close to the optic center. This O is the optic center. So this is the focal length. From here to here is the focal length of paraxial rays and this is the focal length of marginal rays. That means all light rays are not focused. In between many light rays are there. That means image is formed because of this here, because of these images formed here. Light rays coming from the distant object means distance 3 image you can take with the lens focused onto the white screen, and you will not get the one image, you will see the multiple images. So no image is clear. So we take the average image here in between, that is called the circle of least confusion. We are taking it as a conical circle, light rays coming from. So circle of least confusion is in between will be there, but that is not important for us. More is the difference between the paraxial rays and marginal rays, more is the spherical aberration. How do we avoid it? To avoid it, we take the combination of the lenses. Instead of that single lens, we take the help of combination lenses. And more aberration, remember that FP minus F marginal rays, focal length, paraxial rays indicates the degree of, means how much it is, indicates a spherical aberration error. Quantity. More difference, more aberration you can say. How do you evaluate this? Minimum condition, minimization or elimination conditions you take. One method is combination of convex comma concave lenses. Combination of convex and concave lens if you take. For convex lens focal length is positive, for concave lens focal length is negative. One is called as a crown glass, another is a flint glass. So that radius of curvature is same but refractive index is different. This refractive index is N1, this refractive index is N2. Resultant combination you have to take such that refractive index such that resultant is convex lens, means converging lens. So light rays are coming here, parallel will be focused here. And in this case both marginal rays and paraxial rays will be meeting at this place because one cancel the effect of the other ones. Next is concave lens cancel the aberration produced by the convex lens. So all can be focused at the same place. So if you take the good quality lens cameras, telescopes, they will have the not single lens but the two lenses will be there. Another method is two convex lenses. Two convex lenses we can use. Two convex lenses are taken such that one lens focal length is f1, second focal length is f2. Two lenses you have to use. The distance between is d. D must be equal to f1 difference f2. Distance is equal to difference of focal. This is important for the problem's purpose. They ask one generally definition. What are paraxial rays and how to eliminate, means condition for elimination with the values they will give you f1 and f2. For example, this f3, f2 is 3 times f. And this is CF. What is the difference becomes equal to 3f minus f is 2f. The distance should be equal to 2 times f. F may be given as 2 centimeters, 3 centimeters like that. F is equal to 2 centimeters. So this is going to be 6 centimeters. This is going to be 2 centimeters. The difference must be equal to difference of these two. Is a 2f means 4 centimeters. If the gap is there means separation is there means the spherical aberration is eliminated. Another method is in this only, instead of the double convex lenses, generally plano convex lens can be preferred. Plano convex lenses also preferred. Focal length does not affect whether lens is curved. Same focal length is possible, but If you take the plano convex lenses, curved surface the left side, curved surface the right side. Two cases are there in this. If you take a plane surface towards the incoming rays, then you will find a more spherical aberration. If the plane surface is right side, means curved surface is facing the incoming rays, spherical aberration is less. So this can't find less aberration. Here you will find more aberrations. Details not required right now. And so instead of the two double convex, generally plano convex lenses are used. For plano convex lenses, curved surface facing the incoming rays if you have taken, then the aberration is less. It is not eliminated. By taking the combination of the two lenses, the double convex or plano convex, then this condition eliminates the spherical aberration. Mirrors also have the spherical aberration. If you take the mirror, this is the condition of the lenses we discussed. For mirrors, if you have taken mirrors, spherical distortion or aberration. Distortion is also one type of the aberration name is there, but generally we use the distortion means not clear images, blurred image you will see, multiple images. More light rays focus at the same place, no more brightness you will see. So here spherical mirrors, if you are taking, both convex and concave aberration will be there. Here principal axis. Light rays coming parallel to the principal axis close to them are paraxial rays are focused far away because they see less angle of incidence and less angle of reflection automatically. So this is the focal length of paraxial rays. But marginal rays have the more angle of incidence and reflection. They are focused close to the pole. Pole is the center point of the mirror. This is the focal length of marginal rays. They are not focused in the same place, therefore automatically you will not have the clear images. What about the convex mirror means? Light rays here, light rays here. More angle, here more angle. Means they appear to be focused very close to the pole. But whereas this paraxial rays, no, they are also reflected, but they reflect such that they are focused at the coming from large focus points. So they reflect like this, less angles. This is a focal length of marginal rays. This is a focal length of paraxial rays. Same thing for the concave also, but concave I didn't draw the diagram. For the concave rays, the light rays will be diverged. Light rays close to the principal axis, light rays far away from the principal axis. These marginal rays, more angles, more deviations. More deviation result is meeting close to the lens, center of the lens. But paraxial rays at a small angle, they go like this, they go at this point. Negative side, left side. Convex lens, right side. The resultant of these two, we can cancel the aberrations. The diagram is not much clear here. These are the marginal rays, diverging rays, the meeting here, appear to meet here, whereas the paraxial rays appear to meet here. Next type of aberration is chromatic aberrations. Chromatic aberration. Chroma means what is color. So if you take the lens can be cut into small portions. Each one is like a prism act, like it acts like a prism. And previously what we tell is angle of incidence changing from for marginal rays to paraxial rays we said. And more is the height from the principal axis, more is the angle of incidence and also angle of refraction. But here all light rays are paraxial only we are taking. Diagram I am drawing little bigger only. So marginal looks like, but we imagine always a paraxial rays in this case. So this white light we have taken. But refractive index is not same for all the wavelengths in the white light. White light is a combination of the 7 colors, or you can take the RGB, basically basic colors, red, green, blue. If you combine equal quantity, that also becomes white. Whatever, it is a composite light. Then wavelength is inversely related to the refractive index. Refractive index is nothing but equal to A plus B by lambda square and so on is there. As the lambda increases, refractive index decreases. Or you can take in terms of the velocities relationship. Snell's law, you have the relationship, then that you will get n1 by n2 refracted index is equals to v2 by v1. V equal to f lambda, f is constant, frequency is constant here, therefore lambda 2 by lambda 1. Lambda and n invert related, velocity n are also invert related. That means what if the white light is having the colors, different colors, refracted index of the red, lambda of the red is larger than that of the blue or violet. So refracted index reverse you will find, less than that of the refracted index of the blue or violet. So more refracted index, more deviation takes place for the light rays. What is the deviation you have taken for the small angles? If you have taken deviation equal to angle of the prism, you can take this small portion as angle of the prism equal to n minus 1. This is for small angles. So whatever is the condition you take, more is the refracted index, more is the deviation, more is the angle of refraction, etc. Angle of incidence if you take same also for the paraxial rays. So what happens here is more refracted index, more refraction take place. So the violet is focused, or blue and violet are focused, more deviation takes place. Deviation means instead of going straight, they are bending by some angle, the deviation is more. So they are deviated very close to the optic center, close to the lens. This is a focal length of blue light or violet light. But red rays, in this red also there, white light, they have the less deviation, less refracted index, they are focused far away. This is the focal length of red rays. So focal length of the red rays is more than focal length of the blue. More is the difference, more is the aberration you will find. And this difference is also related to the surrounding medium. If the refracted index difference between the glass and air is your taken condition. If you take this anything in the water, the refracted index difference is less, means you will find less aberrations. So how to minimize the chromatic aberration is elimination. One method is taking the help of two, again a combination of lenses we have to take. Of lenses, eliminations. One method is called as a convex and concave lens combination. Convex and concave lenses, that is called as a crown glass and flint glass of different refractive index. One is the convex, another one is called as a concave. This is called as a achromatic doublet. Achromatic doublet. It is a free of chromatic aberration. Achromatic, chromatic opposite is achromatic. So if you take the white light, this is a white light, all colors are focused at the same place. So here only. So white light means it's the white image. White image means not white actually. 7 colors, whatever the tree means green. In the tree what different colors are there? All colors you can see clearly here. That means as it is colors you can see if there is no chromatic aberrations. It's called as a achromatic lens. It is a combination of convex and concave lens, but they are gummed. They stick with a gum. That gum has a refractive index average of these two. That is called as a Canada balsam. Canada balsam is a kind of gum, transparent gum that is used to stick the glasses. It is transparent, does not give any strains, and also has the average refractive index of this crown and flint glasses, and therefore that will not give any effect for the refraction of the light rays coming from the inside and focusing points. So if you want to set the clear images, we take the help of the convex and concave lenses. In the Galileo telescope, he is using convex or concave, therefore that is more clear. This eliminates chromatic aberration and also spherical aberration, because both are positive for convex lens and negative for concave lens. So one concave lens cancels the aberration produced by the convex lens. Another method is combination of two convex lenses. You can take biconvex or plano-convex, effect is similar. One convex lens is having the focal length f1, other convex length has the focal length f2. The separation is say d. If d is equals to f1 plus f2 by 2, d is equals to f1 plus f2 by 2. Whenever the separation of the two lenses is equals to average of the focal lengths, this is a condition for achromatic conditions. Elimination of chromatic aberration is possible. For example, if f2 is 3f and f1 is f, so what should be the separation you have to take is 3f plus f is 4f. 4f by 2 is how much is 2f. So in case if you have taken that one focal length is 3 times the other focal length, then the separation is 2f. Difference is also 2f, separation is also equal to f2 difference f1. Difference it is actually, you can take this bigger, that smaller. So this condition is also, this condition is satisfied if one is having the focal length 3 times of the other ones. That means if you take the separation as such that one is focal length of the other one and d equal to then D automatically satisfies the condition F2 minus F1, D also satisfies the condition F1 plus F2. This is for spherical aberration elimination, this is for chromatic aberration elimination. So both are elimination is possible if you take the lenses separated by distance equal to 2f. This principle is used to get the clear images in the optical instruments. Another is for the condition for this omega and f relation is if it is the combination of the two lenses D equal to 0, N1 is not equal to N2, therefore F1 is not equal to F2, but R1 is equal to R2, inner side one. So you can also take the lenses plano-convex also possible. This is a concave like this. Convex, this is a plano-convex, this is a plano-concave. Like this also you can take, like this also you can take, makes no difference. Combination of convex and concave taken such that in terms of the omega is the dispersive powers. This form is only for the JE and NEET. The condition for this achromatic conditions means elimination of the chromatic condition. Omega 1 by F1 is equals to omega 2 by F2. Concave lens now focal length is negative. Sorry, minus it becomes or plus equal to 0. This is the condition required. If you take it to the other side, what happens is omega 1 by F1 is equals to minus omega 2 by F2. Cross multiplication, omega 1 F2 equal to minus of omega 2 F1 is the condition required. They may ask like this or like this. They don't give with the values problem, only formula they will ask you. And concave lens means focal length is minus. This minus of minus becomes equal to plus. Omega is a dispersive power. The separation of the possibility, ability to separate the colors is called as dispersion power. Already we have discussed about this dispersion power for the prism. So lens is taken as a combination of multiple prisms. Even concave lens also can be cut into small portions. Each one is like a prism that acts to separate the colors based on the refractive index of the wavelengths.